Welcome to the Summit Independent Insurance Podcast, where we help people optimize their Medicare coverage and save money. Today, we have a very important subject. It involves your money and a rate increase that is shocking. We've talked in the past about double-digit increases, Tim, on Medicare supplements, and unfortunately, it's looking like a reality. You stay on top of this for your clients. We wanted to have you on to talk about these double-digit Medicare supplement increases. What are you seeing, Tim?
Yeah, unfortunately, we did get the first real glimpse of what those rate increases are going to look like with one of the major carriers in the California market. I'm in the Sacramento area, Northern California region. Those increases came out at 14 to 15% across Plan F, Plan G, and Plan N. So the three most popular plans, and even the Plan N, which we were hoping would remain a little bit lower on the rate increases, even that got hit with a 14% rate increase. We talked to executives from another major player in the California Medicare Supplement market. They said to be on the lookout for double-digit rate increases this year. Anecdotally, I am seeing a lot of usage when people are using their insurance and appreciating the benefits of a Medigap plan. They don't want to give that up, but they're also being hit with high costs of living in other areas, and trying to control those rates is important to people.
Yeah. What can people do? Options for switching, maybe a lesser plan or a time of year where you can switch without health questions. So maybe we'll start there. I know in the past we have basically a whole podcast about the California birthday rule. Do you see, or in your experience, do you think a lot of people are going to be utilizing this California birthday rule because they have a Medicare supplement, say F or G, that the price is increasing and they want to switch? Do you recommend people look at their options during their birthday period?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's crucial in California. We have the birthday rule, which allows people to move to any other carrier's equal or lesser Medigap plan without health questions around their birthday each year. The rules vary slightly from carrier to carrier, but you want to be looking at that around your birthday month. Some of the rate increases won't be happening till, say, during the summer. It might be worth it if your birthday is January, February, March, April. It might be worth it to look at your options a little bit early, even though you're not experiencing the rate increase until later in the year, just so you can get out ahead of that
Yeah.
and try to look for a plan that's going to allow you to lock in the rates for 12 months if possible, so that you
Mhm.
can take advantage of the lower rate cycle right now and lower your money. If you have a Plan F, look at a Plan G. And if you really love the F and you don't want to give it up, a Plan G is basically the same coverage, except it adds a small annual deductible. And you may have already paid, because that deductible is with Medicare. So you may not have to meet that deductible if you do move from an Plan F to a Plan G. Plan N is a very good plan. There's a couple things about the Plan N that people tend to shy away from, but it's a great plan. It retains the core advantages of a Medigap plan, the ability to see any doctor anywhere in the country who accepts Medicare and agrees to see you. No prior authorization required by the Medigap carrier, and very strong coverage. Plan N does add a couple of copays. It adds up to a $20 office visit copayment, and frankly, not all doctors are going to bother collecting that office visit copayment. Also, it has a $50 emergency room copayment. Hopefully, people aren't having multiple emergency room visits, but if that's something that affects you, keep that in mind. There's something called excess charges. If you go to a doctor who accepts Medicare but doesn't accept Medicare assignment, they can charge up to 15% more than what Medicare allows. And this is with doctors' services. And it's very rare that a doctor does apply excess charges. It does happen occasionally. I've only seen it a handful of times in my long career, but it may well be worth that small chance that could happen in terms of what premium savings you can achieve.
So I think what's important is that people get out there and look at their options. Whether the rate increase is enough for you to move is your decision, but I think it is important that people start realizing that the costs of healthcare, unfortunately, are rising. They're continuing to rise. So it is really important to stay on top of your medical insurance, your Medicare. If you have a Medicare supplement, you can't expect to see this rate increase frequently. It's worth looking at your options during your birthday rule. Plan N is an option. What about Medicare Advantage? Can people move to Medicare Advantage right now?
Medicare Advantage has an annual enrollment period that occurs in the fall, starts in October, ends on December 7th. That's when you can join or change a Medicare Advantage plan. Your ability to join a Medicare Advantage plan during the middle of the year like this is very limited. So if you have a Medicare supplement plan and it's just gotten too expensive, then you're going to have to wait typically until the fall to switch over to a Medicare Advantage plan, which would start January 1st. It's important to look at your options for Medicare supplement plans. Plan N is a good choice, or a high deductible G plan
Mhm.
if your health is good. The California birthday rule is available or something equivalent to that in about 15 other states. It seems like more states are adopting some type of rule that allows you to switch in the middle of the year. But if you are switching, then a couple things to be careful about is a lot of times if it's spouses, one might be in their birthday rule early in the year and the other one's birthday is in the fall. So you have to be careful you don't lose a spousal discount on your current plans. The
Right.
other thing is that if you use the gym benefit, if that's valuable, some of these Medicare supplements here in California, they have a nice, and you're saving 20, 30, $50 a month on your gym, then a lot of these Medicare supplement carriers that do have the lower rates, they don't have a gym benefit. Now, the choice of doctors with all Medicare supplements, and I know we've talked about this before, is the same. And it's any doctor accepts Medicare anywhere in the country, which is a huge majority of doctors do accept original Medicare. The benefits are standardized. A Plan F is the same with any carrier. A Plan G, the medical benefits are the same with any carrier, and same with Plan N. The supplements are standardized. Differences in discounts, like spousal and household discounts, and gym benefits. Service is pretty consistent among all carriers because the claims processing is done electronically, and so there's very few claims problems. And if you have your plan on automatic payment, billing issues are rare. One thing, Jack, there are some tricky things, and there's a lot of things that the person who has a Medicare supplement may not be aware of. I would encourage people to reach out to an independent broker and talk things through. You may well decide, hey, we're just going to deal with the rate increases and stay where we are for now. But at least you'll get a feel for your options. A good broker should know all the ins and outs of moving people and trying to save them money. And of course, the insurance brokers are paid by the companies, so it doesn't cost the consumer anything to work with a good independent broker.
Yeah, that's definitely what I was going to recommend, Tim, is that if people are having questions or they want to maybe see what their options are, they should reach out to you. Costs you nothing, and it can save you potentially hundreds and then thousands of dollars over the long term to be working with an experienced agent that can pick up on these things. A lot of people may not have even heard of this increase, but you've always got your ear to the grindstone and you were telling me about it. So I appreciate that. I know today's short. Anything else to add?
I'll just mention that I'm located in the Sacramento area in Northern California. I work all over California. I'm licensed in about 14 other states throughout the country, a lot of them in the western part of the United States. I can talk to people about rates in those states that I am licensed in. If somebody were to reach out to us in a state that I'm not licensed in, I can help them find a good independent broker.
Thank you, Tim.